Tercera razón por la que no cabe la contrastación empírica.
The third reason empirical testing is impossible in economics is that there are no constants in our discipline. Everything is variable. Everything is continually changing. There are no functional relationships. We cannot take measurements. If there is no constancy, we cannot measure anything. Hey, what's the professor saying? That we don't measure anything in economics? We measure things all day long. We talk about millions of euros and the GDP increasing and the consumer price index. We measure things all day long. Don't be fooled. Those measurements have nothing to do with measurements in the world of physics. A meter is 1/10,000,000th of the Earth's quadrant. And in Paris, there's a prototype made of a special metal, and that is objective. We know how cold, according to the Fahrenheit or Celsius scale, a temperature of 0 degrees is, or 1 or 2 degrees, or -2 degrees. That is objective for everybody. In economics, there are no measuring rods, because there is no constancy. Everything is in a state of flux. The euro is a monetary unit with a purchasing power that changes continually, from one day to the next, from 1 hour to the next. It's as if the measuring rod or the ruler were sometimes longer and sometimes shorter. In economics, all measurements are very rough compared to those in the world of physics, and they are always subject to the historical interpretation of the entrepreneur who uses them. The notion that a balance sheet is objective and conclusive is mistaken. A balance sheet consists mainly of interpretations, which result from other interpretations and decisions that for practical purposes are very useful, and we will see what role they play in economic calculation, but they involve none of the certainty of the measurements obtained in the natural sciences. I repeat, in economics, everything is variable. Everything is in a state of flux all the time. There are no constants. Therefore, it's impossible to objectively consult the real world to try to test theories. The fourth and last reason, which I also state in the article, is reflected in the contradiction the vast majority of my colleagues who are mathematical equilibrium economists fall into, and this is almost a joke. They develop mathematical equilibrium models in which the world does not change. Those are the only models that can be expressed mathematically. And then they try to test those models in the real world, which is in a permanent state of disequilibrium. That is a genuine outrage. So, what conclusion do we reach? We conclude that we cannot apply the method of empirical testing to economic science, and we must conduct our research based on the other methodological procedures we discussed when we covered the section titled The Method of Political Economy.